Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Georgia Sports Nation. We got some more Hawks and Braves content coming for you guys tonight. Unfortunately, the Hawks go down 0-2. Couldn't steal one in Boston. Now they come home. State Farm Arena. It's time to protect home court. Let's see if we can do what we did in 2008. Can we take the Celtics to even a 7-game series? Maybe win the series if we take these 2 games. Who knows? But nevertheless, Trae Young post-game conference, he said he's got to play better. We got to hold him to that. So hopefully he does that. We'll be talking about that, previewing Game 3 as well after recapping the first 2 games of this series. Next, we'll be talking about the Atlanta Braves, recapping the impressive Padres revenge series, which we took two out of 3 against them. And then we're going to be previewing tonight's matchup and the series this weekend with the defending champion Astros, a battle of the back of the last 2 World Series champions. So it should be exciting with Hunter Brown going against Bryce Elder tonight for the Atlanta Braves and Houston Astros. Without further ado, let's get into this Hawks Celtics series, recapping the first 2 games. OG, we'll start with you. What have you seen from these first 2 games, and really why you think the Hawks struggled so much up in Boston?
I mean, the obvious elephant in the room is they can't make no shots.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, when it all boiled down to it, they can't make no shots. We could have been go all into while we think that they losing, but I mean, the obvious thing that sticks out like a fat woman trying to strip is that they can't make no shots. So they got to make the shots.
And against the Celtics, a team that is such a prolific 3-point shooting team with weapons like Derek White, Marcus Smart, Brown, Tatum, Sam Hauser, Al Horford can stretch it. Mike Muscala, if he comes onto the floor, can shoot some 3s. So with a team like that, when you get open looks against a great defense like the Celtics has, you got to knock it down. And unfortunately, the Hawks aren't doing that. And we've got to be able to, one thing, like I said before last week in previewing the series, we have to score more points in the paint because we will not win the 3-point battle with Boston. We're just not as good a shooting team as them. And what have you seen from? Or sorry, I'm having technical difficulties with Ant. It seems like, but Will, we'll go to you. What do you think has been the primary cause of our lack of offense? Because we, in the regular season after the All-Star break, we were the second most efficient offense, and in Boston, we only scored 99 points that first game and 106 in the second game.
We just like OG been saying, and I've been saying ever since, we ain't making no shots, bro. We're not making shots, and we taking we taking bad shots at times. When we don't have rebounders up under the basket, you know what I'm saying? Just like we got to make smart shots and we got to be consistent at making shots. And if we're not doing those, we ain't gonna succeed. I don't care who we playing against. The playoff is different. Everybody is scheming for your offense, so everybody is prepared for your offense. They got to play you 7 games. You know what I mean? So like, it's just like we got to do better, man. We got to be better and consistent. You know, we got to show that fight all 4 quarters, not 1 quarter.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying. We got to show that fight.
Yeah, speaking of scheming for your offense, I want to show a clip here. It's not really something too surprising or impressive or anything, but watch this clip here and then I'll explain kind of why I wanted to show it here.
Him away from the pin down, went back door for the layup up top.
Look, you see DeJounte gets the screen from Dre, and he pulls up for the floater, right?
Fade away, falls for it.
And if you see DeJounte Murray, they gave him the middle of the floor, right? He was able to drive to the middle left, drive to the middle right, put up floaters, put up 3s. He had a great game too, putting up 29 points on 11 of 24 shooting, 7 of 13 from beyond the arc, 4 steals, 6 boards, as well as 6 assists compared to just 3 turnovers. So you got a great game there from DeJounte. But I think why Trae is struggling and DeJounte might be thriving is they're saying to DeJounte, if we get beat by DeJounte Murray's 17-foot pull-up shots in the mid-range, so be it. and they're really crowding the middle and not allowing Trey to get to that floater. And Trey's been really pressing and having to try to find ways to impact this offense on a positive note, because in the last 2 playoff series, I hate to bring the stat up, but it's true. In the last 2 playoff series that Trae Young has played, he has more turnovers than field goals made, and that just can't happen. And what have you seen from Trae that you hope gets better in these 2 games in Atlanta?
Well, Mikey, you know what kills all those turnovers, right? Ball movement. There's not a lot of ball movement, which he's trying to force going into the paint instead of moving the ball. You gotta and having other people move and set screens and all that. You know, you gotta set it up. You can't just go. And then also, you're just settling for a jump shot. That's letting the defense off the hook. Because now they can get a long rebound, and we've seen it in the first 2 games. Fast break, straight to the bucket.
Yeah.
They are deadly in when they do that, because their offense is lights out. So we
And I want to ask you something.
Uh-huh.
I want to ask you something. And well, this is for everybody, but I'm going to ask you for you directly because you got the flow.
Mm.
Can we hold Trey accountable for settling, or hold the team accountable for settling for these jumpers when their coach is pretty much coming out saying that's what he wants them to do? I mean, did I hear Snyder wrong? I think Snyder is employing these guys to keep shooting. Did I hear that wrong?
Yeah, Snyder wants them to take threes.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, I heard what you're saying, and I agree with you. But who are we going to hold accountable for that? The player or the coach? Just something to listen. We can go in depth about these type of things on the next show because we got to keep the show short. But it's just something to think about.
Yeah, and you want to speak on that more?
Well, you got to hold the coach accountable for that, because you got to know your personnel. Everybody that has 2 eyes can see that we're not a shooting team. We're not a great shooting team. We haven't been all season.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why you would ask them to, continue to shoot. Play to our strength, pick and roll. We've been deadly at that all season.
Yeah.
Nobody can guard that.
I think part of it is just because we're not gonna match Boston's 3-pointers. Like that's just out of the question, right? We could get hot one game and it might happen, but overall in most games we won't match it. But I think, and I'm not saying he's right to do this, but I think Quinn's logic here is saying, okay, if we put up enough threes, if we can bring our bread and butter to the table, which is the pick and roll, getting into the paint, right? That's our bread and butter. The Celtics, especially in the Trae Young pick and roll, are taking away the middle and forcing Trae to either take that mid-range pull-up or stepping under screens and forcing him to shoot. Now, we know Trae's three-point shot has been off for most of this year, and it's especially been in the playoffs. So we're kind of falling into the Celtics trap as it is. I'd like to see DeJounte Murray get a little bit more ball handling opportunities in the pick and roll tonight. I want to see how the Celtics defend it, because if they give Murray the middle like he did in that example in that play there, and Trae can find a way to impact the game off ball, I know he hasn't done that well this year, but if he can find a way to knock down some catch and shoot threes, get his confidence back up, because we don't want Trae to pass up any shots. That's our star player. That's our best player on the roster, hands down. We don't want him to get less confident, because that can affect the entire team. So for me, Trae got not to see a few to go down, and I think we'll see the old Trae Young again.
Mikey, did you say he shot his vent off most of the year?
Yeah, Trace.
Okay. It was just funny how you said it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry about that.
Oh yeah, well he has. I mean that's a fact. Yeah, it has.
Hey, damn.
I see what you did there, OG.
But like,
Damn.
well, another big offensive point in this series have been the bench. Off the bench, Malcolm Brogdon has been good. Sam Hauser's given the Celtics some good minutes. But our bench, besides Bogey in Game 2, overall has really struggled. Jalen Johnson especially has looked and I know
Jalen Johnson touched the floor.
He's basically a rookie. He's basically a rookie or in his second year, but he might be damn near unplayable in this series. They are daring him to shoot. He hasn't looked good. It hasn't looked good on defense either. I would like to see Quinn take a couple risks here, down 0-2, maybe try and throw in there a Garrison Matthews or AJ Griffin in Jalen Johnson's spot of the rotation. What is your guys' opinion about that?
I'm gonna start with that. Listen. When you get in the playoffs, everything changes.
Yeah.
Even sometimes you have to change the rotation. You can't see, and it's not just Quinn Snyder. It's a league-wide thing. These coaches they get too damn robotic with their rotation. Listen, hey, if there's a situation here, because right now you're in a must-win situation, because you go down 3-0, that's just it's impossible almost to come back from that. So listen, man. Hey, I don't give a damn if we may need Bruno Fernando for the last 2 minutes of the first quarter because Capella and Okongwu got 2 fouls. You know what I mean? So like we may need Aaron Holiday to come on the floor just because he can supply a little more defensive pressure to a guy like Derek White that's been lighting up whoever been guarding him. You dig what I'm saying? So yes, I agree. So it ain't all about giving him Jalen Johnson's minutes. We still need Jalen Johnson. We need his activity. We need, we don't need his turnovers. We need his length. We need his activity. Listen, I don't care if we got to play all 13 guys or he just have to cut his rotation down to 7 guys. When we get it in the playoff, the game cuts in half. Everything gets kind of minuscule. Hey, do what you got to do. Go win the game. This is a must win for Quinn Snyder. To me,
yeah,
this is a must. It's a must win for him.
It's a must win.
Must win.
But I like your point about Aaron Holiday. I especially think we could see him the way that Derek White and Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Brogdon, Smart, not really, but those other 4 guys are listed. The way they've gotten to the paint, the only thing with Aaron Holiday's the best perimeter defender, but he's smaller, but he's way quicker than those guys. But the thing is, the guards for the Celtics are big. Brogdon's a big guard. Smart, Derek White, tough big guards. Like Aaron Holiday is shorter, even though he's a good defender. So that's the only issue. But Aaron Holiday shooting 41% from 3 season. It's a career high.
Aaron Holiday plays bigger than what his size is.
He does, yes.
So that shouldn't be an issue.
And he comes with a little physicality too. And he got a little bit of a mean streak in him. Look, hey, listen. I need an elbow throw. Hey, listen. Our guys need to show us that they're alive. Okay, we may need an elbow throw. I'll take an early flagrant foul. Okay, listen. We need to pull out all stops now. It's the playoffs. Our first hated rival is the Atlanta Hawks before the Miami Heat was the Boston Celtics. They need to show up and show out down there at State Farm tonight. Because you better believe them Boston fans gonna be in the house.
Oh yeah.
We need to do whatever we gotta do. We need to do whatever we gotta do to get this win.
Yeah. And I wanna bring up an interesting stat here, and I'll have you guys guess this stat actually first. Who do you think on the Atlanta Hawks roster is the only guy with a positive plus minus in this series? I'll give each of you one guess.
I'm gonna say
Hunter?
No.
Definitely not.
And OG, you got guesses? One for each of y'all.
I'm gonna say whatever that moment.
Southside. That's wrong as well.
Bogey.
Nah, these are both incorrect.
Yeah.
OG, you got
What's
your
the
last
question?
guess.
What's the question? I missed it because I was talking.
Who is the only Hawk in this series with a positive plus minus?
With a positive plus minus.
And it's not Murray, Bogey. It's not Murray, Bogey, or Hunter.
Damn sure it's a big base. I'm gonna say John Collins.
Correct.
Yeah, it's John Collins.
John Collins, for as much as he has struggled offensively in this series, and it's cost us a lot because when he's not making threes, the spacing gets even tighter. It's cost us a lot. But I know Ant and Blackberry said last night on the Rex pit. By the way, go check out Blackberry Show. Does an amazing job on Thursday nights. I know you guys said that John Collins not played great defense, but I think he's been the best defender of the Hawks this entire series. I think that stat shows that because as bad as he's been on offense and as bad as the Hawks have been on defense in general, John Collins to be in that positive +2, it shows to me that he's put in that effort on defense that he normally does. But he's stayed in front of Tatum. If you live with Tatum making step back threes, Jaylen Brown making step back threes. That's what they do. They're stars. They're going to do that. But I think John Collins has actually done a better job than Hunter, surprisingly, in this series so far, guarding Jason Tatum. And I'm a big guy I'm high on Hunter's defense as far as 3s and 4s. So I think John Collins has taken tremendous steps defensively during this series, but although it really hasn't translated much to the box score for many fans.
Listen, let me tell you something, Mikey. A lot of people get all sideways and get all bent out of shape and get all in them fields. But guess what? Guess what the plus minus stat is? It's a fact. A stat is a fact. That's something that you can't argue. If you didn't watch a game at all, if I don't watch a game at all, if I miss a game, first thing I do, I go to the plus minus. Plus minus gonna pretty much tell me what everybody did. It's gonna tell you who affected the game. Like if I look like for example, Collins, Collins ain't been putting the ball in the hole. We already know that. Collins had 6 and 5 last game, but guess what? When I looked over there, I saw he was a +8 plus minus, and we lost by 14, and he played 29 minutes. That leads me to believe that the other 19 minutes that he wasn't on the floor, we was a negative 21.
Yeah.
Listen, that's simple math. If a guy's a +8 and you lose by 13, that means whenever he wasn't on the floor, the team was a negative 21.
Yep. And Will, I'll go to you for this. What do you think is the key to kind of unlocking the Hawks bench that was so good to end the regular season, but have struggled so far in this series?
They got to make. I'm sorry.
You gotta get these guys in the rotation, man.
Well, they're in a rotation. They're in a rotation. I'm just saying, I
think you're running like an 8-man rotation, ain't it?
He's
8 or 9.
He's running a 9-man rotation.
What he asked you is, what is it going to take to get them going?
Yeah. So, for example,
it's simple. It's simple. They just got to make shots, bro. They putting up shots. They're not making none.
Thank you.
They putting up shots. They're not making none. At this point, it ain't rocket science. How many times we seen where Kobe put up so many shots? How many times he put in the gym putting up shots? I mean, it just ain't gonna come overnight. You got to build that muscle membrane, man. You got to be like when you jagging up that shot, you don't even notice that you shooting. It's just going. You know how Steph Curry shoot a 3 and turn around before it go down? That's what I'm saying. You got to put in that work to where you know your body, you know that shot good. You know what I mean? Don't nothing come easy.
And OG, I'll let you go. I'll let you go after me because I I want to point that out real quick. You talked about timing and routine about catch and shoots, and Glenn Willis had mentioned this on Locked On Hawks with Brad Woland.
Oh God.
Trae Young, with the angles the Celtics are taking away, a lot of the passes and timing of the pick and roll is off, and he said that timing can just mess with shooters like Sadiq Bey, John Collins, who's shot the ball at mid-30s his whole career. You can't ignore that, and shooters like Bogey off the bench, who was bad in game 1, but great in game 2, and Sadiq Bey, like Sasa said, who's like minus 20, minus 24. Like Sadiq Bey's been horrible in the series, but I think that can have something to do with it.
You know what I expect the bench to have a big night. I actually call for a Hawks. I call for a Hawks win tonight. I expect the bench to wake up. The bench been asleep. They've been virtually asleep with the exception of a little bit of Bogey.
Yeah.
With the exception of a little bit of Bogey, the bench been virtually asleep. I expect the bench to wake up tonight. I call for a Hawks win tonight. I'm telling you, I'm not. Y'all got to excuse me, but I'm not fearing Boston like that. I fear. First of all, I don't fear nothing. But if I was a little leery of a team, it'd be Milwaukee. I'm sorry, I'm not fearing Boston. I'm just not.
That's interesting. I'd rather face Boston. I'd rather face Milwaukee than Boston.
I agree, OG.
I'm not fearing. I'm just not fearing Boston like that. I just think them guys. Hey, they already listen. Listen. We all got the answer, y'all. Everybody got the right answer. We're not making no shots. We got to capitalize off opportunity too. Go back and look at the score line. Like I said, the last game we out rebounded the guys 49-44. We had 19 offensive boards. They only had 4, and we only had 12 second chance points.
And
that has to improve. That has to improve, man. We done turn them more than they turned us, but they got more points on turnovers. That has to improve.
Yeah,
that's where you lose the games at, right there.
Yeah, and also like you said, OG, before the show, they turn the ball over more than us normally, so we got to capitalize when they turn the ball over. And like Southside says here, the classic saying, role players play better at home. We'll see that. And now
I hope so.
Segue into
they're gonna play better tonight.
Game 3 tonight. What do you guys want to see as a certain adjustment on offense or defense? From either Quinn or the players, maybe Trae specifically. What's the key to getting him back in vintage ice Trae mode from 2 years ago in that playoffs? What do you want to see as far as changes in Game 3 tonight?
Listen, stop trying to overdo it. Stop overthinking. Stay in front of your man on defense. If you get beat, so what? Where our defense goes awry at is when all it takes is for one person to lead that man trying to overplay, and that's where we're getting killed at. Stay with your man. Stay connected, because listen, if those guys up top stay connected with their man, then the guy who 90% of the fan base trying to trade right now, oh my God, because David Stoudemire of all people had something to say about him.
Yeah.
What?
David Stoudemire had a nerve to talk about Clint Capella's defense. Bro, you ain't played a piece for the defense. And college up, bro. Stop it.
Clint Capella. There's definitely a chance that Clint Capella gets traded in this offseason or next trade deadline. I will hate that day. He is so good for us. He does so much for us, and that like you said, OG. Like we would be 31st in the league, and that doesn't even exist in defense if we didn't have Clint Capella.
But at any rate, everybody just thinking. Listen. I hate to use Nate's terminology.
Oh,
you remember when the 3 C's? Stay calm, clear, and connected. We may have to do that. We may have to employ that. Stay calm, clear, and stay connected to you guys, man. Look, you're playing against all-stars. You're playing against Olympians. Hey, stay with you guys. You're gonna get beat sometime.
You know what that says, right? Three words. They simple. Do your job. That's all you gotta do.
Do your job. Responsibility of basketball.
Just do your job. Stop trying to make sure they do their job. Stop trying to make sure somebody else do their job. No, if you do your job, then everybody else can do their job.
Clint Capella is the last line of defense. Once he see threat coming in the house, he has to react to it. So when he reacts to it, and Horford pops out for a three, now the Hawks need to get Clint Capella off the floor. Man, get the fuck out of here with that, David. David Stoudemire. Hey, David Stoudemire. How about you took over as the head coach of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets? Who the hell recruiting for us right now, Damon? While you telling my Atlanta Hawks how to fucking play defense, who recruiting for Georgia Tech right now? Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I got a little carried away. Y'all know how I'm on.
They got to just play consistent. They got to play consistent, man. That's all they need to do. Play consistent. Give me 4 quarters. By God damn, give me 4 quarters.
Hey, what K-Style say?
Give me 4 quarters, man.
Play for. Give me that $1. Play for $1.
Yeah, that's it. Listen, I think we're gonna be okay tonight. I know it's a lot of fans right now. He may feelings upset. Look here, man. Check your little feelings at the door. It's the playoffs, all right? We too fucking sensitive overall as a fan base and player. That bothered me to hear DeJounte Murray saying Trey needs to block out the noise. Man, get out of here with all that. Man, look, why are we even talking about the noise? Because in order for you to say he needs to block out the noise, that means the noise is getting to more than just Trey. You know, I mean, hey man, I'm coming for a win tonight.
I think we can get it done as well. Like it's State Farm Arena, especially in the playoffs, a really tough place to play. Now we know there's going to be Boston fans in there, like you said, OG. But
they're gonna be there.
State Farm Arena is a very tough place to play. It gets loud in there. I was at Philly. I was at the game 4 against Philly 2 years ago. We made the Eastern Conference Finals roll. It was so loud in that building, and it's the atmosphere is going to be lit in there tonight. So. I mean, all we need to do for my keys to the game tonight, for Trey specifically, and similar to what you said, don't force it. You know, if they're giving you the side of the floor, run the side pick and roll. Get to that floater on the baseline. See if you can kick out to the opposite corner for a 3. Find Sadiq Bey, find Hunter, find Collins in those 3. And when you get it, let it fly. If Trey's finding you, hopefully they'll knock him down tonight, like you guys are saying, because when we do get an open look, we got to capitalize against Boston. I want to see Trey, and they're giving Trey jump shots on purpose. You know, he's got to prove to them that he can make them. So when he steps under the screen, I don't want Trey to be scared to shoot. Right, you never want that. In the first few minutes of the game, if they go under screens on a high pick and roll, I want Trey to shoot maybe 2, 3 threes in the first quarter. If they don't go in, all right, maybe you stop. But don't let that stop you from taking those initial threes, because then they're in your head. They know, okay, now Trey's only going to drive, and we can take away the middle, and we can take away the paint. Now Trey can't really do anything except play make, and we take away those angles. So
take him out the ball.
It's really a lot on Trey. It's really a lot on Trey to help our offense get going back to what was second in the league after the All-Star break.
Listen, when that happens, Mike, you just take him out the ball. You know you're going to leave him on the floor, take him out the ball, put the ball in DeJounte Murray hand. Because for some reason, they're not blitzing DeJounte Murray like that, and DeJounte still go get to his spot.
Oh, yeah. They're giving DeJounte Murray plenty of room. Like I said earlier in the show, they're saying if DeJounte Murray is going to beat us with 17-foot pull-ups, so be it. And DeJounte, to his credit, is knocking him down. I mean, and Bogey as well in game 2. Bogey finished with 18 off 4-7 from 3, 2 steals, 4 assists, couple of rebounds in there as well. So Bogey and DeJounte, if you think about it, this team has 3 shot creators: Bogey, DeJounte, and Trey. Obviously, that in the playoffs is not a recipe for a great offense. So those 3 guys have got to be on offense tonight. They've got to be at the top of their game for us to beat a defense like the Celtics, a Bucks, whoever we face next either. Even if it's the Cavs, if we win the series and they win theirs, they were the number 1 net rating team in the NBA. So we those three guys are the only shot creators on this team. And when they're not, and when one of them's not on, another one has to kind of do overload for them, which is why I think even if we get swept in this series, we get gentlemen swept, it is valuable experience for the players, but more importantly for Landry Fields and that front office, because it is really going to tell them what we need to improve on in this offseason.
Well, you know what? We'll talk about that on another show because
yeah, we're gonna have to dive deep on that.
F you, okay? F you, okay? F you, F you. Only me and Ant know what I'm talking about right now. Only me and Ant. So that's something with me. F you, Ant.
OG, I wasn't even gonna say nothing. See. BULLSHIT.
So for tonight, any one key to the game before just in a couple words before we move on to some Braves talk here.
I got one. Sadiq Bey, he's gonna be somebody to look out for tonight.
Yeah, he's got to knock down his shots because we know if Sadiq Bey's not knocking down his shots, his defense is not going to be there.
Yeah, he's unplayable if he's not knocking down shots.
Yeah. Agreed. Will, what about you?
Hey man, I hate to sound like being being the
broken record. A broken record. I beat the dead horse.
Just make shots, bro. Just make shots, bro.
All right.
Just make shots.
Yep.
Take smart shots,
Yep.
bro. Stop playing half court offense. That's not our game. We play transition.
Yeah, get it.
Shots, bro.
Thank you.
There we go. That's it.
I was gonna try to sugarcoat it. Fuck all that.
No, don't do it. Don't do it, Will.
Don't do that, Will. Don't do that.
Just make shots, bro. Make shots. That's it. Just make shots.
All right.
Listen, and I'm gonna finish it off. Hey, get it and go. All right. We let Boston take us into our game. Get it and go. Tire them cats out. But when we go into a half court set, it's the killer bees, baby. Killer bees. Bay and Bogey. Let's get
it. Again, Bay. And Jay Black says here, key to the game for him is the Hawks to play in the paint and get offensive rebounds. Yeah, we definitely need to win the advantage on the boards tonight. And those points in the paint, that was my key to this entire series, overarching. Because when you look at that, the Celtics are going to make and shoot a ton of threes. We don't do that. We got to offset their threes with our points in the paint, something we do very well. And that's what the Hawks have to focus on. But the Celtics so far have done a very good job of preventing Trey from getting into the middle to that floater with the right hand or those baseline drives when he's able to switch onto a big. So the Hawks got to be prepared to that. Makes Iverson guts, some Spain pick and roll maybe to free up some shooters or create some off ball action. And I like what I saw from an offensive standpoint in the second game. But in the first game, it needed to be better.
Yeah, speaking of Trey, man, I need him to move better when he off ball. He can't stop standing like a statue out there, bro.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you. You can't make their defense easy, bro. You standing like a fucking statue at the 3-point line. Come on, man. You got to move around.
Because he's pouting. He's pouting. And see, that's enough. Like I said, we got to talk about that on another show. He's pouting. That's him pouting.
Could be. We'll see. But yeah, Trey, it's and the whole fan base knows it. Trey said this summer, but before the season started, when Nate flew to Oklahoma, and told Trey about he's going to have to work off ball, and it worked on some off ball movement. And we really haven't seen much of that, to be honest, from Trey. Hopefully we can see it, and when our backs are against the wall right now, really, and hopefully Trey can elevate his game to where if he's not making shots, he affects the game in some other area. Maybe he can have like a 15-16 assist game or something, or maybe have one of those great defensive games stretches like he was doing in Miami or in Washington within the last month of the season. So hopefully we see that from Trey tonight, because If those shots are not knocking down, you need to find some other way. Great players do. They find some way to impact the game if the
Absolutely.
shot's not falling, and that's what
Absolutely.
we need to do.
Bingo.
There we go. All right. With that being said, we'll get into some Atlanta Braves talk here. And our win streak was snapped. You know, a game win streak ended after a 1-0 loss to the Padres on Wednesday. But still, that series and the win streak between the Red Series, the Royal Series, and the Padres series was just incredible. The way we're able to win these close games without Travis d'Arnaud, without Michael Harris, Raisel Iglesias, Colin McHugh went down. Lucas Ludke is now down with an injury too in the bullpen. So without these key guys, we're still winning games, and that just speaks to the depth and the readiness of each of these players to step up, especially Sam Hilliard, who's been incredible since Michael Harris went down. What are you guys' thoughts on Hilliard and just the depth of this Braves team, how everybody stepped up in absences of key guys?
Guys like Hilliard and Pilar,
Yeah,
it's guys like that get you to hold up that trophy in late October. Those guys are priceless. Those guys that you can plug in anywhere in the starting lineup, you can put them anywhere in the starting lineup, and you can have them play multiple positions, and they can still perform at a moderate level. Those are the type of guys that win you championships. 2 years ago, Jorge Soler was on the last place at Kansas City Royals. He was freaking MVP of the World Series.
yeah.
Eddie Rosario stuck in a rotation in Minnesota, MVP of the NLCS. Jock Peterson, hey, looked like he was he was a platoon player wherever he was, and we already know what he did for us in the division series. So, you got to have those type guys. We already know what you already know what your regular guys gonna do. But getting back to Hilliard and Pilar, those guys are godsend right now. They're godsend.
I really like what Snit's doing with the lineup too. It's almost like Hilliard and Kevin Pilar, who's ever in there tonight. Tonight we're batting Pilar last and Hilliard eighth. It's almost like a double leadoff hitter because the way Ronald's going right now, you got Pilar and Hilliard and Vaughn Grissom and Ozzie going up to the sixth spot, all with above average speed on the base pass for Ronald, Olsen, and Riley at the top of that lineup. So when the bottom feeds the top, and you said this so many times, when the bottom feeds the top, this offense is near unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Nobody. Look, I'm gonna just say this: nobody can touch this offense, 1 through 9. I don't care who you are. I don't care who's pitching. I don't care. I don't care who's in your bullpen. I don't care who's your closer. It's not happening. And then you get the production that we getting on defense. We've known we've been a damn near good, almost unstoppable defense for the last, I don't know, 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
We've known that.
How about this, Al?
Yo,
We still got Soroka, Inoa, Iglesias, like Mikey said.
McHugh.
Soroka, Inoa, Iglesias, not Arcia. Like McHugh, we got a guy we got a horse that won't even play this year in Maggiet.
Oh yeah.
Listen,
that's my guy.
your baseball team is on a pace to win 112 games.
Crazy.
And that's what guys hurt. That's what all these guys hurt. That's what Marcell Ozuna batting 088. Y'all relax. Marcell, once he gets hot, he gonna be hot. Y'all just relax. He gonna get hot.
Oh gee, stop cussing on here.
Hey, what I'm saying, bro, put Ozuna at the 9 hole, and I guarantee he gonna get better. Cause guess what? Them pitchers gonna give him something to hit because they know who's coming behind him. They know that gorilla behind them. So if they put Ozuna at goddamn 9, he gonna see good pitches, bro. Right now, he's swinging at a lot of, you know what I'm saying, pitches out of the zone.
Yeah, they sticking them in that 7 hole. That 7 hole kind of a dead hole. It's kind of a dead hole.
Ain't nobody hitting behind him. You know what I'm saying? And who's in front of them? They got Ozzy at the 5 hole, and they got Rosario at the 6? Yeah. The 6 hole. Rosario ain't scaring nobody. So he ain't finna see nothing. Ozuna not finna see nothing. But like Ant said, can't nobody touch our offense but us. Once we get cold, we get them cold bats.
Yeah,
that last game in San Diego.
Yeah, that's what
that's gonna happen, bro.
There we go. Yeah.
That's gonna happen in a 162 game season.
Yeah.
You're gonna have cold. Yeah, you're gonna have cold stretches.
Hey, get what, OG? You're gonna have cold bats, but not the whole damn lineup. The whole lineup was cold.
Yeah, we had in the first series of the year in Washington for that series finale, and in the 1-0 series when Nick Martinez pitched really well, and I did not. We've gotten master classes from Nick Martinez and Michael Walker against us, but we bludgeoned Blake Snell.
Well, you know, everybody gonna try to throw their A game against the Braves.
Yeah,
everybody know the Braves.
I mean, we played it, and we pummeled them 8-1 in that second series when Spencer Strider was damn near unhittable, and we had Olsen, Riley, and Sean Murphy all hitting home runs. So, and then in the first game, you saw a dominant Max Fried come back in his first start since that hamstring. So the momentum.
Did we see Mad Max? Look like we saw on Mad Max, y'all.
Mad Max.
Well, yeah, we expected that though. Every time he get hurt, he come back like a goddamn Terminator or something. He come back like Terminator or something.
Every time. And hopefully, and we're gonna see. We're probably gonna see him. We'll see him in this Padres series too. In the series finale, I would expect. So I mean, sorry, in the Astros series.
You talking about the Astros?
Yeah, the Astros series. So speaking of that. Tonight, the Astros are throwing Hunter Brown at us, and it's funny, I was talking about that with Ant a little bit earlier. You know, Hunter Brown for the Astros, nobody in this Braves lineup has seen him. We're throwing Bryce Elder. You know who's seen Bryce Elder in the Houston lineup? Nobody. So both pitchers are going to have an advantage tonight. It's going to be which young guy deals with that advantage better. Really is the key in my eyes to this game tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna need them.
Just like.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's just like what me, Mikey, and OG was talking about earlier. That first inning is gonna be kind of dead. But who's gonna be able to catch the pitch starting off the second go round.
Yeah, it could be a low scoring game for sure. OG, what were you gonna say?
I just kind of need a scoreless first inning. I'm not wishing for my Braves to fall short. But Prize Picks tell me I need a scoreless first inning. After that, we need to line them up. I'm sorry. I'm done.
I mean,
honestly, what I'm like,
the end of the Astros lineup after Kyle Tucker really hasn't been now that great. You know, Bregman's kind of struggling this year. He's only batting .216. You got Jeremy Pena, who was the World Series MVP last year, only .211. You got Diaz with just .222, Jake Myers with .222. So at the end of that lineup, they're vulnerable. Meanwhile, at the end of our lineup, we have guys Sam Hilliard, who's batting .375, Kevin Pillar, who's done a solid job, Vaughn Grissom batting .273. So we've got guys at the end of our lineup who've done some damage in the past so far this year. Hopefully they can feed that top of the lineup and Acuna, who's just having a red hot start to the year. Sorry. Olsen has kind of struggled after having that a great start, but he's still leading the team by a lot with 20 RBIs. Next is Sean Murphy with 14, and Ozzy has 14 as well. but Austin Riley's had a good start as well. So those three guys at the top have been
Hey,
huge.
he leading them in strikeouts too. That boy got about almost 30 strikeouts. Hey, I just need them to play. I need them to be smart at the plate. You know what I'm saying, and not try to hit a home run at every at bat.
Especially
Be
a
smart.
new pitcher.
Play chain to chain.
Mikey at OG Truth got a scooter on and skedaddle. Hey, truth, nothing but the truth, man. Y'all take us home, man. I gotta get on up out of here.
All right, be safe,
See,
OG.
All right,
Yes,
OG.
Yep.
And with this series is going to be a big deal. And it's always fun when you got the defending World Series champions in town. But this also it's interesting. This is the home game for the Braves, and the matchup predictor for ESPN is taking 51.3% for Houston. So it's basically 50-50. But it's interesting that they're favoring Houston when they've been only 9-10 on the year and 3-3 on the road. Meanwhile, the Braves are 14-5. So it's interesting that they have the Houston Astros favorite in this.
You know why they doing that?
That's just because they figured that the Houston Astros gonna bring their A game because these are the two last World Series winners. You know what I'm saying? So the sport bettors feel like they're gonna wake up this game. You know what I mean? Because everybody bring their A game when they play the Braves. It'll be the siren team in the league come bring their A game because they know they playing the Braves and everybody watching. So that's what they've been on.
Yeah,
that's what they've been on.
Speaking of watching, this game tonight is going to be on Apple TV Plus. It's the Friday night Apple TV game that MLB sponsors. They're going to be one game this season every Friday night. It's only on Apple TV exclusive. So the game will not be on Bally or cable on a national channel. So unfortunately, you got to try and find. If you got Apple TV, great, you can watch the game perfectly. But if not, unfortunately, it's not going to be very accessible. Right. But for this series, we've got a chance to.
If you know how to watch the game, you know. If you know, you know.
You know.
That's true. If you know how to watch the game, you know. And for this series, we've got a chance to if we take this series, we got a chance to start the year 16-6. The Braves have started the last few years really poorly. I mean, in our World Series year, we didn't even get over 500 until August. Now we have the opportunity to win in this series to start 16-6, and with guys not even healthy. I mean, what does that tell you about this Braves team for going down the road?
This team is scary, man. They on a mission. They telling everybody last year was not our form. We back this year, and we coming to defend our crown. We coming to take it from anybody. We don't care who it is.
Yeah. Will, what about you?
Yeah, it just show we deep. It show we deep.
Yeah.
We got double A. He got this team looking right. Somebody go down, next man up. It just show we ready to be deep, man. That's what we had problem with.
Braves have been the epitome of that. Even Sean Murphy, who is getting overlooked by the start of the three guys above him, but Sean Murphy's been incredible ever since that. It was just like the first 4 games of the year. People were overreacting. Oh, Sean Murphy can't hit. Sean Murphy can't hit. I mean, he's been incredible since Darno went down. He's caught every game except one when Chadwick Tromp caught one in Kansas City against the Royals. So huge shout out to Sean Murphy for being as durable as he's been during Darno's absence as well. But with the Hawks game started at 7 tonight, being a huge game, we know a lot of us want to go watch that game. That game's early game at 7, so a little bit of a shorter podcast tonight. So we'll end it like we always do. Will, tell them where they can find you.
What'd you say there?
Tell them where they can find you.
Hey man, you can find me at Will the Georgia Reaper right here on YouTube. Or I'll be up on AFN with these boys, man.
Yeah.
Got content coming soon.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You can find me on Twitter, Big Ant True, or You can on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, or Big Ant. That's how you gotta look up.
And you can find me as always on Twitter at PinWizard300 and streaming Georgia Sports Nation on Recapping Hawks Hoops. With that being said, we gotta get these Hawks to win Game 3, hopefully take Game 4, and we gotta even up this series, make this a competitive series. And tonight, the Houston Astros are in town at Truist Park. The defending champs are in the building. We know the Braves are gonna bring their A game. Hawks need to take a game, so let's make it a great night. Both teams getting dubs. Let's hope for that. But thanks for joining us tonight. Don't forget to tune in next week too, 6:00 p.m. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.